Good morning, guys. Good morning. So Apple up 11 days in a row, right? How far does it go? I have no idea, but that's nothing but strength. I think Apple is now considered a safe asset, right? I mean, in this market and so much going on, and Apple is near all-time highs, right? I mean, I think it's looks like it's more safer than Bitcoin or gold, right? So Apple, just amazing to see the strength in it and the way it's been holding some levels. But yesterday, before the close, some $1 million puts sweeps did come in, right? So let's see how Apple plays out. I really want to see how Apple plays out just to learn from it, I guess, and see how far it goes. But SPX for today that we have here, for SPX, and if you guys read the Gamma report today, we need to see the call wall shift higher, maybe 4650, 4700 to see that they're actually buying now, right? Because we have come a long way from here, 4200 all the way towards 4600. That's 400 plus points in the last 2 weeks alone, right? Now we want to see how far it continues. The one level that I will be watching today is 4530, which happens to the volatility trigger. If we do visit 4530 sometime this week or next week, if we do, right? I mean, the market is strong right now. 4530 as of today is a volatility trigger, and this level, if we visit it, is a good support bounce, right? Healthy pullback, we can say. If it does retest it, the market is strong. Even if we have one red day today, that does not mean the market is bearish. Nope, it's just on an uptrend, a small little dip, a pullback, a retest, and then we see what happens, right? And if we trade below 4530, then downside likely. All right, then we see how far we go on the downside. But 4530 will be the volatility trigger level today. We are opening a little bit red today, but you know what, after such a huge run up, is good. It makes sense that at this resistance we stop, we pause, and let's see how this plays out for some days. And this could be a toppy pattern for the next few days, maybe, if we do get the red day today. If we get the red day today, and let's say we go red and we visit these levels, then we might be here in a consolidation or a chop zone, and this might be a top level for some time. All right, so keep that in mind on SPX. All right, but again, the levels on SPX, LB posts, they're pretty much similar. And if you guys have the number from yesterday, 4590 still stands, and then we have 4600, 4650 to the down upside, and then 4550, 4530, and then 4500. All right, and there might be some more levels in between if you want to zoom in, obviously, into the price action, right? So these are the levels that I will be watching, and then the ones that LB also posts, keep an eye on those as well. All right, and IWM, a nice little breakout yesterday, which is bullish, is strong. It broke above this resistance, and it's about 209. Now we see, does it continue, get towards the 217? So 209 plus hold, we can see 217. It went through, so this comment is no more valid, right? From yesterday, we went past it, so 209 plus hold, we can see 217 now. All right, and obviously it's towards the 200 MA, and don't forget there is a lot of chop zone here. Unless they decide to absolutely rip these levels, it's a different story altogether. If we just slash right through them, right? Because sometimes that's how they run the market up. They just continue going up and people don't believe it, and then it just continues going up. All right, so keep an eye on IWM as well if we are breaking out. All right, and they did leave a little gap here, so let's see how this one plays out. And Q's also super strong, super strong. The only thing I will say here is just keep an eye on when we have strong rallies, a nice little pullback, healthy consolidation, we ripped up again, then saw lower later on. Just some possibilities that you should know. So here we ran up a lot, right? Just some things you should know here. Just holding above the 200 MA, and I think a back test towards 363 and 353, even all the way up here, this resistance right here, which could be the 50 MA, who knows, would be healthy if you're looking for upside. All right, if you're looking for upside, and we see what happens. Personally, I'm just day trading, no bias to the upside or downside here. The market is all over. I mean, it's ran up a lot. I did miss this rally, as you guys know, so I'm not going to chase it up here as well. So I would rather day trade my scalps and do my equity trades, and I'm happy with them. All right, and PayPal is holding green today on pre-market, while the market is minor red. PayPal just at the 50 MA right here on the daily, and I think if we can get across 50 MA, we can likely see at least the top of this candle right here of February 2nd, or where they sold it off, right? Which happens to be above 135, so roughly 135, 138 target here for PayPal. And then we do have this gap fill in the coming months, which should get filled, or maybe even the next few weeks if the market is strong. So keep an eye on PayPal. Once we get above the 50 MA and we hold, this is a nice little bull flag pattern, right? Some individual names can still run. So keep an eye on PayPal. If we hold above 50 MA, this name can absolutely run. All right, but again, a key level hold will be the trick here. Now, if you're doing equity trades, if I was to play a PayPal, just for an example, let's say my buy point is 120, depending on my the size I go in with, right? Just in equity. Now, a retest to 118, 117 is very likely. Right, if I'm playing PayPal to the upside, depending on my size, maybe I'll keep my stop loss below this right here, this zone right here, which is roughly 112, 111, I would say. Right, my stop loss will be 112. Now this is almost 5% of an account, or on an equity trade. But the trick here is keeping a position size small. Now, to the upside, my target will be 140, 150, and so on. Right, the ratio should be in your favor. Now this is an $8 stop loss to the downside, which is huge. Right, that's a huge ratio to the downside. I mean, risky trade. But upside should be 140 plus. All right, at least 2-to-1 ratio minimum on this name. All right, this low of this will be my stop loss, and again, this will be a long play, not a something short term. But if you're looking for a trade, then the stop loss obviously will be 1 or 2 points max, and then depending on your tolerance, and then the upside $3-4, whatever you can get. All right. So equity, you just gotta put your ratio depending on the trade that you're trading. Square, nice little bull flag breakout. Let's see if we continue today. If the market goes green and the market holds, these are the names that can probably rip up. All right, they're showing a lot of strength pre-market. So Square is another name that I would keep an eye on. DNN, I've been keeping an eye on this name. It's a small cap name, obviously, right? I've been in the consolidation phase, and I'm seeing if it continues building here. If I go on the weekly, LB played this a few times. I think Bucky played with him. On the weekly, is building up like it wants to squeeze in the coming weeks. All right, I'm not in yet, but if we do take out the high of this 186, 190, right? If we continue holding this zone and continue building a little bull flag, and if I see a little squeeze, then I might play equity on this name. So even if I catch a 30-40 cent move on an equity, that's big on this name. And stop loss will be like 5 or 10 cents below versus 40 cents profits. All right. Tilray, expecting some more news this week. Let's see what comes up from there. So far, Tilray has been holding great on the daily. Right, it's been consolidating, it's bull flagging. Usually it does not hold, it gives up the gains. The question is, do we continue holding into Thursday and Friday, which is tomorrow and the day after? If we do close strong on Friday, I might even grab some more equity over the weekend, right? Because then this hold will be different than all these holds right here, right? It will be a little different, all right? So finally, if we continue holding it, then we can probably see a squeeze towards 12, 13 again, all right? And a lot of volume has been coming in, and then we do have earnings sometime in April on Tilray. So keep an eye on wheat names. Rav asked Google and Amazon. Google made a little toppy action yesterday. It's at a very strong resistance point. The stock has been running for the last couple of years, and now we just into the split. It should run, but the market needs to be strong or hold. Right? If the market is red today, then Google can also see 100 points down. If Google tests the 200 MA one more time near 2750, I might grab some long spreads just to have some exposure to the upside while I scalp to the downside. Right? That will be for Rav if you're listening, for split, which is in July. On July 18th, I thought it was in June, but I'll confirm these dates. So it's still a long way to go. So I don't need to rush in right now thinking that Google's going to do something like this into July. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. But if I'm playing options, I just want to catch a nice little 100, 200 point move, and that's it. So I don't care when that happens. All right, so I'm going to be very patient with Google. Personally, I'm looking to add in April sometime, maybe before earnings or maybe after earnings. I have no idea. I did make a comment yesterday. I'm probably going to add by the end of this month or maybe first week of April. So I'm going to see the setup. I'm looking for some good premium catch on Google, something worth it, right? Where I can risk less to at least make 400, 500% on my spread on options. So that's the play I'm looking for. Let's see as it forms, and then I'll play. Same thing on Amazon, right? Something similar, a little toppy candle here. It can definitely come and retest this zone. There's no doubt. It can definitely come and retest the low of this candle, which happens to be 3200. So around this zone, I would like to catch the dip on Amazon if I can get it. Right, this zone right here, and to the upside if I see upside in the market. Right now the market is holding. I don't need to be bearish for the next 2 weeks, but for the coming months, when I get my signal or whenever it is, then I will look to short stuff again. Right now I'm just scalping. If we get a short signal next week, then I'll go bear more next week. Right, but for now the market is holding. Gotta respect the hold. As simple as that. And expect low volatility today as per spot gamma, guys. 4600 is like a magnet level, so we might not get too much of volatility. But again, just like the other day, there wasn't supposed to be that much volatility. Options were not priced as high, but then we got that one directional move and options went nuts on Monday, I believe. Right, so anything is possible, obviously, but It's a low volatility day, and we have back-to-back expiries on indices. SPY today and tomorrow because it's the month end, and then obviously April 1st for Friday. And April 1st happens to be April Fool's. Let's see what happens. And then we have Tesla. Nice little run. Some people in the room caught it. Congrats. Very typical toppy pattern candle, right? This could be the toppy candle for the next few weeks, or maybe just for a few days. We do have a nice little gap fill that needs to be filled right here at 1,008. So here is where I 1,008 and 1,040. 1,040 I will try calls. If we get 1,040, that's a very good support level. It needs to break 1,070. Yesterday morning, Sachs called a puts play on it. We bought the puts at 10, right? They went up all the way towards 17, 18, I believe, right? But then we only took small profits, but it was a great play, right? He posts the plan every morning in SPX Futures channel, so make sure you guys read it, you guys study it, all right? So did great on Tesla yesterday, but again, looking for this little gap fill for 1040. I'll try a scalp towards the upside, so which is still 60 points down. All right, so it's a long way to go. If we get there, if we don't, it's very iffy here what it's going to do. Facebook, nice little run for the last few days. A nice little bottoming pattern right here, right, and massive run, almost 30 points, and it's approaching the 50 MA. And let's see how it acts towards the 50 MA, right? So this 230 to 233 will be really important. Similar pattern to PayPal. Again, Facebook can test the top of this range, which happens to be 245, 250. All right, so keep an eye on Facebook. If we do get this range, it's another 15 points. Tonka, I think he caught this move. Congrats. And above this, let's see how it holds. And then 230 hold will be a must. 230 hold is a must on Facebook. If we get a hold above 230, this can definitely see all the way towards 245. This will be a 15-point move on Facebook. So keep an eye on Facebook. Chewy, down on earnings. I don't follow this stock, but just saw that it's down 13%, I believe, right? And if I go on the weekly chart, not a name that I want to be in unless you have done a lot of fundamental research on this, right? I definitely, these squeezes I've seen, they're deadly, and people that got caught here for many years, this stock might not even move, right? For many years, right? Just by looking at the chart. So Chewy, if you're playing these names to the upside, accumulating equity just because it's down from 114 to 50, make sure you do a lot of fundamental research. Make sure you know what this company does. Make sure their numbers are good, their growth is good, and what they're expecting from future, any upcoming competition, whatever it may be, right? So when buying equity in these names, you have to be really confirmed, all right? And a lot of research needs to be done, okay? Don't end up putting your money in such names and just hope that it goes up, right? So I'm not saying it's going to go up or down. I have no idea, right? I don't like this company. I don't follow it, but somebody brought it to my attention. So Chewy, technically playing options is fine, but for long-term holds, you got to do your fundamental research, right? You cannot just buy a equity just because you like it, right? Micron had a nice little pop on earnings, but so far gave up gains, and it's just sideways. It's only up $1 or so, so likely killing premium both ways. But this candle was very bearish yesterday. The thing here is, do we hold above the 50 MA on the daily, continue going up, or do we give the gains and come below the opening price of yesterday? If that's the case, then that obviously won't be good for the chips or the market overall, right? So just be careful playing it. I would just let it settle and see what happens, right? So Micron, I do like Micron, but for now, it's iffy. If I go on the monthly, it's kind of toppy, right? So I wouldn't want to take out these highs of 94, 95 to the upside before going long on it, right? So because sometimes for many months, this name has a weird pattern that it follows, all right? And with this, guys, thank you so much. On voice chat will be live. Read the gamma, and tomorrow is the last of the month, March 31st. April 1st week, we might get some volatility, right? Start of the month, new positions. So let's see how that one will go. So far, the market is holding. How far does it go? I have no idea, right? Apple on the monthly is nothing but a crazy bull flag, which is saying it's going to go much higher the way it's forming, all right? So cannot fight the trend. Is strong. Gotta admit, Apple is strong, and it's almost near all-time highs. Small pullback towards 170, I think 175. 175 it should get, but a pullback towards 170 area will make sense. And bull flags, and maybe this is another name that we might want to go long. All right. And with this, thank you so much. We'll see you guys back in the chat.